Choosing COBRA instead of an ACA Marketplace plan can cost a laid-off family an extra $800 to $1,200 every single month, according to 2026 comparison guides from the ACA Subsidy Guide. That happens because most people never realize marketplace subsidies kick in the moment their income drops. Stick with me, because the difference between these two options can add up to over $50,000 in the wrong direction. I read the fine print so you don't have to. Here's why this decision costs real money. Under COBRA, you keep your old employer plan, but now you pay 100% of the premium, plus up to a 2% administrative fee, according to healthcare.gov. In 2026, that pushes typical family COBRA premiums to between $2,000 and $2,400 a month per ACA Subsidy Guide, roughly $24,000 to $29,000 a year. Meanwhile, a subsidized marketplace plan for a family with reduced income often runs $100 to $800 a month. That gap is the whole story, and it's decided in your first 60 days. At a glance, these two solve the same problem in opposite ways. ACA Marketplace gives you a new plan with income-based tax credits, so single coverage often lands between $0 and $400 a month, and families between $100 and $800 per ACA Subsidy Guide. COBRA keeps your identical employer plan, but at the full unsubsidized price of $725 to $850 for individuals and $2,000 to $2,400 for families. Same coverage, wildly different bill. The ACA Marketplace is built for exactly this moment. Because premium tax credits are tied to your expected income, the paycheck you lost actually makes coverage cheaper, not more expensive. On healthcare.gov, a family of 4 reporting $40,000 in income commonly finds silver plans priced between $150 and $250 a month, according to ACA Subsidy Guide. That's who this fits. Almost anyone whose income drops after a layoff and who isn't mid-treatment on their old plan. The knockout advantage is the raw arithmetic once subsidies apply. Take Alex, a laid-off marketing manager whose 2026 income drops to around $40,000 for a family of 4. COBRA quoted $2,200 a month, or $26,400 a year, while a silver marketplace plan runs about $250 a month, $3,000 a year, per ACA Subsidy Guide. Even after rebuilding the deductible from $0, that's roughly $20,000 saved in a single year. Over 6 to 12 months, typical savings land between $5,000 and $15,000. ACA isn't free of downsides, and here's the honest one. When you switch to a marketplace plan, any deductible or out-of-pocket money you already spent this year vanishes, and you rebuild it from $0, according to Douglas Insurance Group. Your old doctors might also sit outside the new plan's network. For most healthy families, the premium savings dwarf this. But if you've already paid down a big deductible, this catch matters a lot. COBRA does have a legitimate use case, so let's be fair to it. It lets you keep the exact same employer plan, the same doctors, and critically, the same deductible you've already been chipping away at this year, per healthcare.gov and Douglas Insurance Group. If you're mid-treatment or have already met most of a large deductible, that continuity can be worth real money. That's the narrow group COBRA genuinely serves. COBRA's real strength is seamless care in a year you're already spending heavily. Imagine you've paid $2,500 of a $3,000 deductible and have surgery scheduled next month. Switching plans would reset all of that to $0, so COBRA's continuity can outweigh even the $20,000 plus premium gap, according to Douglas Insurance Group. In that specific high-utilization scenario, paying more in premium can actually be the cheaper total. Before I get to the number that decides this for most people, stick around for the trap that quietly locks families into COBRA for a full year. Here's COBRA's fatal flaw for most laid-off workers. The premium does not care that you just lost your income. There are no income-based subsidies, so you pay the same whether you earned $150,000 last year or nothing now, according to healthcare.gov. You can stay on it up to 18 months, but at that same full price the entire time. And ending COBRA early does not create a new window to escape to the marketplace, which is the trap I promised you. Let's score the money categories, since that's what actually decides this. On single premiums, ACA runs $0 to $400 a month subsidized versus $725 to $850 on COBRA per ACA subsidy guide. On family premiums, it's $100 to $800 against $2,000 to $2,400. ACA wins on income-based help outright because COBRA offers none. And over a full year for a family, ACA totals a few $1,000s against COBRA's $24,000 to $29,000. That's 4 rounds, all blue. Now the coverage and flexibility rounds, where COBRA fights back. On keeping your exact doctors, COBRA wins because it's literally the same plan, while ACA may shuffle your network. On a deductible you've already met, COBRA carries it over while ACA resets it to $0 per Douglas Insurance Group. On enrollment timing, it's essentially a tie. You get 60 days either way after losing job-based coverage, according to healthcare.gov. If this breakdown is useful, subscribe. The next one is already coming. Tally it up. ACA Marketplace swept all 4 money rounds, driven by subsidies that COBRA simply cannot match. COBRA took the 2 continuity rounds, same doctors and a carried-over deductible, with enrollment timing a tie. So the scorecard is decisive on cost, but COBRA's 2 wins are exactly the situations where care continuity is worth more than dollars. If you want one number to settle this, it's your expected income for the calendar year, including unemployment and freelance, not your old salary. When Alex enters $40,000 for a family of 4 on healthcare.gov, subsidies drop silver plans to around $150 to $250 a month per ACA subsidy guide. The lower your projected income, the bigger the subsidy and the more lopsided this comparison becomes. Run that number first before you sign anything. So who wins? For the vast majority of laid-off workers whose income falls, the ACA Marketplace is the better fit. The subsidies routinely save $300 to $1,500 a month. And for a family like Alex's, north of $20,000 a year, according to ACA Subsidy Guide and Douglas Insurance Group. COBRA is the better fit only for a narrow group, people mid-treatment, or who've already met most of a large deductible, where continuity beats the premium gap. This is general information, not personal advice. So check your own plan's PDS equivalent summary, your network, and your actual numbers on healthcare.gov before deciding. The one thing everyone should do is compare both before electing, because the default choice is usually the wrong one. Here's the clean decision rule. Choose ACA Marketplace if your income has dropped, you're relatively healthy, and the subsidized premium beats your COBRA quote, which it usually will. Choose COBRA if you're mid-treatment or have already met most of a large deductible, and switching would reset it, per Douglas Insurance Group. Either way, act inside your 60-day special enrollment period, because ending COBRA early does not reopen the door to the marketplace, according to healthcare.gov. Never bank on switching later. The single biggest mistake here isn't picking the wrong plan. It's letting the 60-day enrollment window slam shut and getting locked onto COBRA for a full year. Next, I'm breaking down exactly how ACA premium tax credits are calculated and how to estimate your subsidy before you enroll. So subscribe if you want to catch that one. I read the fine print, so you don't have to.